pace car hits the pit road. We're ready to get it on.
The crowd is on its feet here at Kentucky. They're waving green Quaker State towels. We're about to get underway. The Quaker State 400 gets the green flag. Daniel Suarez gets a big bump from Brad Keselowski. He'll lead the field to turn number 1.
The restarts are tremendous with this low horsepower package, and Suarez has the edge here as he dives to the bottom. Up top is his teammate Eric Almirola, Brad Keselowski in tow, and they stay too wide down the back straight.
Here comes Daniel Suarez for the first time tonight. He's going to lead the field, and he's got a pack of them coming after him. Down to the bottom of the racetrack goes Brad Keselowski, trying to vie for that second spot, but it'll be Almirola holding on to that spot all 4.
Suarez pulls the field off of turn 4 back to the stripe. He'll lead lap number 1. Then it's going to be Eric Almirola, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, and Kurt Busch 3 wide for 3rd.
The car in the middle is Keselowski, and he is falling back. Kevin Harvick moved him up into the 3rd position, down low in turn 2. Up high it's Kurt Busch with Keselowski losing ground.
Once again, Suarez has the lead. Right behind him, Almirola, as they race down into the corner now. About 4 car lengths separate 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Kurt Busch rides in that 4th spot. The battle's for 5th there with Austin Dillon and Brad Keselowski.
Dillon down on the bottom. It is up top, Brad Keselowski. Daniel Hemrick now will try to help Austin Dillon draft his way to the inside of Keselowski in turn 1.
And the Speedy Dry has not slowed these cars down at all as the top 5 get away. Move Austin Dillon in the 4th position in turn number 2 around Brad Keselowski. His teammate Daniel Hemrick behind him.
Dillon takes that spot. Then there's Keselowski. Daniel Hemrick falls in line. Everybody searching for some real estate. Kyle Busch looking to the outside now of the racetrack, trying to get up and make a move on Clint Boyer.
Best battle early on, the fight for 6th, watching Daniel Hemrick go after Brad Keselowski. Keselowski now trying to remount a charge against Austin Dillon.
And it looks like Dillon's holding him up just a bit as Keselowski's got his feet under him. Keselowski a little bit lower through turns 1 and 2. Hemrick just behind him, up high with Martin Truex Jr. trying to fight under him.
Everybody getting their tires up to temperature now. The front 4 cars are stretching it out. Keselowski goes to work on the 3 car. Dillon down to the bottom of the racetrack. They go door to door all 4.
Brad Keselowski down in the gray, very low on the racetrack. As they get to the stripe, they are door to door, a dead heat at the line for the 5th spot as they go back to 1.
Yes, they are. It's Keselowski down low, the AAA Chevrolet of Dillon up high. Keselowski takes a spot, and Martin Truex Jr. just behind them under Daniel Hemrick for 7th.
That's a good race there. Truex in a blue car there against Hemrick out to the outside in that goldish car with the cat colors on it. They go down into the bottom of the racetrack now. Truex washes up the racetrack a little bit. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the move now, trying to catch up there in the bottom of the racetrack.
The gaggle of cars behind them, Martin Truex Jr. and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. now being bypassed by William Byron and Joey Logano getting around the outside of the 17.
That's a lot of stout thoroughbreds right there. Kyle Busch in the middle of that as well. Has been quiet all weekend. He's going to exit turn 2. 2 wide behind them, Logano and Stenhouse.
Kyle Busch there occupying that spot. Everybody getting single file now. Once again, Stenhouse trying to make a move on Logano. Here's back in the pack. He'll go underneath the number 22 machine all 4.
Stenhouse gets a little bit of a wiggle at the exit of turn 4. This is the fight for 13th. They nearly touch at the start-finish line. Logano trying to pinch Stenhouse down to the bottom.
These drivers know so much that track position is key, and they want to get those stage points. Jimmy Johnson right behind them, never won at Kentucky Speedway. That battle just in the back of the top 15.
Stenhouse and Logano stay door to door again down the backstretch. Jimmy Johnson nowhere to go. Can't make up his mind now. Has to get out of the gas a little bit. And that's going to give Denny Hamlin a chance to come up and challenge the 48.
Johnson had to burp the throttle just a bit, and that opens up the door for Denny Hamlin to come to his inside. They're battling back there for the 14th spot, trying to run down Ricky Stenhouse.
And Hamlin dips his tires below the yellow line in the tri-oval there. Johnson's going to get up higher than we've seen him tonight. Alex Bowman also under Johnson there for about that 16th spot, along with Chase Elliott, his teammate.
Jimmy Johnson trying to battle along down inside of turn 3. He's going to have to give up the outside groove. Meanwhile, up in front of them, good battle there with Kyle Busch going to work on the 14 of Clint Boyer.
That's, again, a battle for the 9th spot. A good run off the bottom of turn 4 for Kyle Busch. Looks like he's going to move up 1 more spot.
And it helps that he is on the inside line. Kyle Busch is. Boyer was going to get some help from William Byron just behind them, but now Byron tucks behind Busch's 18, exiting turn 2.
So it's Boyer on the outside, then Kyle Busch right beside him, really trying to side draft him now. Byron takes a good look inside, but he's under attack by Joey Logano. Logano now battling underneath. Byron as they exit turn 4.
9 laps deep into this affair. They're racing hard back here in the pack. It's Kyle Busch being chased by Clint Boyer. Joey Logano right now battling with William Byron and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Ricky Stenhouse aggressively behind Logano with Byron to his outside. Logano's going to get away and take the spot on the outside from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for 13th spot.
Stenhouse falls in line. Then there's Denny Hamlin. Hamlin now taking a look to see if he can find a way around Stenhouse. He'll stick the nose of that Toyota underneath Stenhouse off of 4.
Top car single file. Daniel Suarez has driven away from this battle between Denny Hamlin and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for 13th by better than 8.5 seconds.
He certainly has there, but he's keeping his teammates right in tow. Back to that battle for 13th. Joey Logano's down low, Clint Boyer up high, and Logano's going to get the spot for now.
Nobody giving an inch there down the backstretch here at Kentucky. Logano on the bottom of the racetrack trying to battle against his Ford, not teammate, but certainly brandmate as they go off turn 4.
Tell you what, right now, Stewart-Haas Racing looking really fine because they have the top 3 spots. Daniel Suarez, Eric Almirola is about a half second back, and a full second back is Kevin Harvick. So Stewart-Haas Racing, that's kind of been beaten up this year, Mark, at least here in the early going, very impressive.
Then add Clint Boyer in the 10th spot, all 4 in the top 10 at this particular point. If you just joined us, we've just begun here at Kentucky Speedway, 12 laps in the record books, and Daniel Suarez from the pole position has led all 12 laps. Prior to today, had never led a lap and cup competition on this 1.5-mile track.
And Mark, there's no reason for Eric Almirola or Kevin Harvick to put themselves in a tight spot and go up there and challenge him. They have pulled away from the field by almost a straightaway back to 4th place running Kurt Busch. Just make up laps and start lapping some of the field here.
They have absolutely gapped the field. The only competition right now, Denny Hamlin and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. continuing to lock horns for the 13th position. Right behind them, 2 teammates fighting it out as well. Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson, and now Kyle Larson will join that battle.
And a bunch of Chevrolets have been quiet this weekend. Kyle Larson looking down low. Yeah, Larson not up high. Chase Elliott up outside of him. They're scrambling hard there, trying to get spots in the top 15.
Yeah, Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott in very similar looking cars tonight, both a shade of green, pretty close to the same. They go nose to tail with each other right now, trying to run down Jimmy Johnson right in front.
13 laps deep into the Quaker State 400. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Daniel Suarez leads them back to the stripe, has led all of the opening 15 laps. Now the Stewart-Haas Fords have gapped 4th place Kurt Busch, but now Suarez and Almirola begin to gap Kevin Harvick as we go down to Brad Gilly.
Guys, Paul Menard started 14th in this race. He has quickly dropped back to the 22nd starting spot, and his car is not handling well. The reason? One of the headlights on his car actually got caved in when he ran into a car in front of him. Now, crew chief Greg Irwin is not sure if it's actually just caved in or if it's cracked. The thing is, they have not actually told Paul Menard what the front of his car looks like. He just knows he has some handling problems. They will try and fix that on the first pit stop.
Pat Patterson, it looks like Eric Almirola is starting to reel in race leader Daniel Suarez here as they're halfway down the backstretch.
About 2 car lengths separate those two. Almirola's been moving in closer and closer to the lead. He'll go about the same, 2 or 3 car lengths off behind the leader, off 4.
Need to document Ryan Newman had to start in the back of the pack for failing inspection. He has moved from 35th up to the 28th position. Leaders back in 2.
Yes, they are. The leaders are down to the bottom of turns 1 and 2, and they're staying in the same lane together. It's still Suarez up front by about 3 car lengths.
Well, they're going to catch some lap traffic here pretty quickly, and we'll see if Almirola wants to make anything out of that. About 2 car lengths separate first and second now, again off turn 4.
18 laps in the books. Daniel Suarez is the race leader. Eric Almirola second, the rest of the top 5. Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, and Brad Keselowski.
Changing your car's oil should be 3 things: fast, simple, and done right. So at Advance, we're making getting everything you need to change your car's oil faster and simpler, with the right oil, the right filter, at the right price every day. You can get 5 quarts of high-mileage Valvoline, Castrol GTX, or Pennzoil and a Purolator 1 oil filter for $26.99. Think ahead. Think Advance at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
From the racetrack to the road home, fill up with Sunoco, the official fuel of NASCAR. Sunoco makes high-quality performance fuels for the greatest drivers in the world, both on and off the track. Whether you're pulling up to the pump or experiencing the excitement of being at the track on race day,
Chase Elliott just wants more rear grip, 4-tire Sunoco race fuel for the 24.
You can trust Sunoco to be the fuel that keeps you going. Capture the essence of racing and fill up with the official fuel of NASCAR, Sunoco.
We remind you to check out Wix Filter's Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram for NASCAR updates. Daniel Suarez still continues to lead. Eric Almirola